The proposed nationwide strike was planned for this Thursday and Friday, the 17th and 18th of October. It is in response to the national government's decision to buy 40 Italian-made Maserati sports car to ferry world leaders during the APEC Leaders Week next month. ECP Governor Alan Bird says the proposed strike has been called off this week but will take place next Friday.
Is because when the post went out, a lot of parents came back and they were concerned about the exams. Obviously, from an opposition standpoint, we wanted to strike while the issue was hot. However, in consideration of the concerns of the parents, the opposition caucus met, including the opposition leader and others, and we decided that we would defer it to next week Friday because the graded exams finish on Thursday. What we are calling for is a passive protest, and so you protest by staying at home. If you are working, like the polio teams that are going around, or medical workers, then we ask you to protest by maybe wearing black or wearing a black armband.
The arrival of the 40 luxury sports cars in Papua New Guinea on October 7th caused much debate on social platforms. While the minister responsible for APEC, Justin Tachenko, has confirmed the securing of these vehicles, little has been said about who in the private sector has purchased them. But while in Leh a week ago, the Prime Minister announced that the 40 Maseratis will be sold to private sector after the APEC summit.
Other international events that we have hosted in the past 40 years, there has always been arrangement whereby the private sector will buy those vehicles so that it saves government money, and then the private sector will take ownership of the vehicles after the events are finished. So government is not paying any funds out of its pocket.
The total value of the expensive cars is estimated to be in the millions, and the reason for the proposed strike is on why the national government had purchased 40 Maseratis when urgent funding is needed to carry out health, education and other government projects in Papua New Guinea.
Who are concerned about your kids' future. The opposition is now calling for a nationwide boycott, not a protest in the streets, not in putting your kids at harm's way, not giving chances for opportunists. We're asking you to express your disgust and that you've had enough of corruption. So next week, Friday.
We should not have in the first place bought these expensive vehicles, We could have done with the vehicles that we have already available in the country. That's the vehicle that everyday people use here for business, for all kinds of guests coming and going all the time. Important guests coming into the country is not a new concept. Some of these guests have already come to Papua New Guinea before. This will probably be the second or third time. They know what our true situation is. So we should have bought vehicles that reflect our true position. Maserati does not. There's never been one single Maserati in this country before this scheme was hatched.
In the history of Papua New Guinea?
In the history of Papua New Guinea. This is the first one.
Adelaide's Xerox Kari, National, EMTV News.